What is up, YouTube? Herozin here, and we are on Scorched Earth. And I am currently looking for wyvern eggs in the scar, the world scar, over here on the west side of the map. And so this is just going to be a few tricks and tips on how to get wyvern eggs, or dragon eggs as I will henceforth call them. Let's say you're a little bit squeamish about coming into the world scar, and that is understandable because I have lost a few RGs in here, and especially if you get your RG to a appropriate movement speed of around 200% plus, now you can outrun them at, well, not really outrun. Your speed will equal to the same as a wild wyvern since they don't sprint at 180, but that's a base speed. So let's say you make a small deviation and they're heading in a straight line to you, they now just cut up to you. So 180, you're technically the same speed. 190, you're going to go a little bit faster. 200 is a sweet spot. Anything above that is just gravy. So you want to have at least, I would say, 200%. I tried doing it less than that, and it's just bad news all around. And so let's get on to actually getting eggs. Now, wyverns have become a little bit obsolete. Kinda. They're still really cool and have specific uses that I will be possibly using them for later on. But now, since every server is a cross ARK server, and now every server has access to gigas and quetzals, you know, wyverns kind of lost their notability, but they're still really cool to have, and you're flying on a dragon, so you're not, yeah, it's still a thing. I don't care if there are better stuff out there. If you come in here on a Pterodon or a Tapihara or any other flying dino, again, you're going to want as much movement speed as possible. But since I have been using RGs before everything became a cross server, this is just what I'm using right now. I'm not going to tame a Pterodon on the island and then just bring it over, so I'm just gonna use this now. Tricks and tips as far as how to do this like a pro. Just do it. That's just it. The only way to learn is by doing, and so that's gonna be how you get experience in dealing with wyverns and outrunning them, and feeling comfortable around them is just actively coming in here and taking eggs. Now, as I said before, I've lost an RG or two. One of them was because my speed wasn't high enough. The other one was because I was just being a little raptor rider-ish, and I may not have been paying attention and flew right into a poison wyvern, and it killed me. Now, the main dragons you want to watch out for are the lightning, mostly because their distance is really high and they do the most damage to your mount. Fire does okay damage. Poison doesn't really do much to your mount itself. Poison, on the other hand, will wreck you since it will hit through your mount and your armor. So if you immediately run into a poison dragon and you get hit by its noxious breath, or noxious snot that it just spewed out of its mouth at you, you're probably most likely going to die unless you have high health. Now, to avoid dying if you're level 90, but I'm not on this character, I'm pretty close though, you can make yourself, or if you have a tribe mate, they can make you a gas mask, and that will negate the poison effect. So ideally, once you've gotten a few eggs, you want to come in here with a gas mask and a lightning wyvern. That way you negate both or two of the wyverns in the scar effectively, since lightning does not take damage from other lightning wyverns and poison won't be able to kill you off the mount, and you're not going to take, and your wyvern's not going to take very much damage from poison anyway. So mostly you just have to watch out for fire, and that's really easy since the range on fire is so small that you really have to try to get hit by those. I didn't piss it off. I thought I did. Okay, so yeah. As far as coming in and getting eggs, just do it a lot. Get comfortable with your surroundings. Have a fast mount, and that's pretty much all to it. Things to know when getting eggs: don't drop eggs near nests. You can actually glitch out a nest if you pick up an egg and you drop it too close to the nest. The nest will still think that the egg is there and will not respawn a new egg, and then the eggs don't properly despawn themselves. When their timer reaches 0, they still stay. I'm sure we probably will see people or leftovers from people. The best thing to do with eggs you don't want is to eat it. That way you get free nutrition. I hear if you eat 1 million of them, you become a wyvern yourself, so you know there's that. That may or may not be true. And as far as getting prime eggs, I mean like 190s or 170s plus, you just gotta get lucky. Level does kind of correspond with the egg nearby. So if you spot a 190 wyvern, there's a good chance that there's a 190 around. But other wyverns can override the spawn, so it's not guaranteed to get a 190 if there's a 190 around. But if there's a 190 around, there's a chance that it's going to lay an egg. I'm not too sure if it depends if it's male or female. As long as there's 2 around, it looks like, because I have had it where there was only a male around of a certain level, and then I go to the nest and that's the level of the egg in the nest, but there are other females around. So I don't know if the female laid the egg and because there's a 170 male around, that's what the egg became, or if it just doesn't really matter as long as they're both around. Any wyvern could spawn an egg. I don't know that for sure, but I have had occasions where there were 3 wyverns around, 2 females, 1 male. The 2 females were below 50 and the male was a 170, and the nest nearby was a 170 of that same wyvern. So again, I'm not too sure how exactly their mating practices work. Maybe for dragons, the male lays the egg. I don't know. So that is a thing. So main things is eat the eggs, watch out for lightning wyverns, don't fly into poison wyverns, and fire wyverns are good, and just laugh at them. Looks like we have a fire wyvern egg too, or wyvern. I should just call them dragons. I don't know why I say wyvern. It's like there's an A in there somewhere. So yeah, getting my stem back. If your mount starts to get low on food, there's plenty of time bows nearby, so just go over there, pick them up, kill it, eat it, feed your thing, and then head back in. Because if you're heading back and forth in the scar from the north to the south, then you're going to be using a lot of food, refilling that stam. To outrun dragons once you loot the egg, it's pretty simple. I would suggest just flying to the top of the map straight up and then in a direction along the scar, and they will de-argo flying towards the center of the map. And the reason I fly to the top of the map is to get them out of render range for other players, so they will actually despawn instead of stay flying around near the ground and attacking stuff. So we got 130 here, which isn't terrible, but not good either. So again, I just fly to the top, look at all the new friends you just made, and be like, hey, maybe I should go say hi and hug them. And you don't want to do that. That's a no. You do not want to get... See, there's a leftover from someone that evidently didn't want to become a wyvern. You know, they just were like, I don't want to eat 1 million eggs. What am I doing with my ARK life? I'm just trying to survive, man. And so now I hit the ceiling, and they should all follow me up to the top. And then this way they will be out of render range for almost everybody on the map. This is an official server, so there's that. And then you just keep going forward. They'll eventually lose interest, and they will all venture towards the center of the map. They will stay at the same altitude, I find, most of the time. They usually don't go low to the ground unless they're chasing something, or they go down to something like a random moth or another argent. But as you can see, they were starting to lose some pack, or there they all go. And so they just go off into the distance. As you can see here, they're slowly leaving my render range. Now, if I try to follow them, they should all technically be gone. I should be catching up to some of them, but they don't. So a lot of them just straight up despawn, I find. Maybe sometimes you get one or two of them that still stay around, but a lot of them just completely despawn as soon as you take them to a certain height and then lead them away. So I should have been seeing some now. Still my render range. And you can kind of tell that they despawn because areas you've cleared in the scar get repopulated really quickly with a lot of wyverns. So it's pretty much guaranteeing that they're going to despawn and not cause issues around other places in the map. There tend to be specific spots that egg spawn. The nests don't really see random. Like up here in the bottom right, there should be a nest. I haven't really seen any nests spawn right there is what I'm referring to. I haven't seen any nests spawn in this one back here. Sometimes I've seen one spawn right there, but very rarely. So it looks like that the nests are either broken or they have a high spawn rate in these areas. I'm going to try to show heading up the cave towards the north. Now we do have quite a bit of lightning wyverns down there. Let's see, we got 35, that's okay, I'm not too concerned about that one. 40, that's a little bit more disturbing, and a 35. Okay, so if they're blocking the nest like that, ideally, hopefully they're poison and fire, and you could just fly next to them, get Argo, and then lead them away. If they're lightning, on the other hand, that becomes more of an issue, and you kind of try to get their Argo either by flying near them, like this guy I got here. So I'm not going to fly him to the top. I'm actually going to fly him to this side of the mountain here, and he should Argo onto this RG right here. They will lose Argo fairly quickly if you put another flying dino in between yourself and it. Even if you've just taken an egg, they will attack the thing in front of them over you. And again, another leftover that somebody should have eaten, but instead left relatively close to a nest spot. I mean, like, well, I guess it's not in render range, so it might be okay there. But again, you do not want to loot eggs and then drop it next to the nest itself. That causes problems. Okay, so I don't know what I Argo there. Sometimes the wyverns do spawn inside the walls of this scar itself, which is a little weird. So I pissed this guy off. He might lightning me. Yep, there we go. To lightning, as you can see, it's spinning. I would just do like spirals. That tends to help negate its damage. Do not try to take the full front of it, especially at higher levels. They will wreck you. Lightning wyverns are no jerk. They will just decimate you like the soulless, heartless, murderous, rampaging dragons they are. Or wyverns, or wyverns, or wyverns. I don't know what they are anymore. I'm having some sort of mental issue. Can't decide what to call them. I guess I could ask that lightning, just fly next to it. What are you? He'll tell me he's Bob. That's who he is. He's one of the nameless Bobs. We're all little Bob. No, actually, I take that back. Only special people are Bob. and you don't want to be that type of special. Okay, so we look good. Better safe than sorry. Definitely scout the area out first. What are you just... Huh? What's going on here? What? Why couldn't I pick that up? And now they have gone closer. What? I guess the nest counts as a foundation of sorts. It's a little strange. Preventing me from looting this. There we go. You're going right into the lava. Not the lava you deserve, but the lava you need. No! See, that's what happens to nameless Bobs. Sad Scorpion. He was also a Bob. I know, he told me. He's like, hi, I'm Bob Scorpion. I'm like, no. Just no. So we have a level 10. Okay. So again, you're not going to be finding 190s everywhere, but you do find them. I have found 2 of them so far. I'm waiting for that fire wyvern to decide if he wants to eat me or not. Better safe than sorry. I would definitely use a whip to get eggs, just so you don't actually have to fiddle with jumping in the nest and then pressing E on it. You want to spend as little time as possible in the nest area, even though I kind of didn't do that. I kind of sat around for a while until I was ready to pick it up. But if you're just starting out, again, whip, at least 200% move speed on your mount. For Tapiharas, you're going to need a little bit more, as well as for the Quets. And I think you might be okay with 200% on a pterodon. But as far as speed goes, both the Tapihara and the Quets start lower. And so you need higher speed to actually even out their speed stat. Argent actually has a pretty decent speed stat starting out. What is going on? Water. Oh, but sure, I have a canteen full of water. And so now they're going to be... Yep, there we go. You don't have to fly very far. It's usually pretty quick for them to be like, hey, we don't care about this guy anymore. What do we have? Well, it looks like there's a alliance member that has lost one of their wyverns, and it's just chilling there. They, I believe, lost it in one of the updates where the Scar was actually dismounting riders because it was counting as a cave, I assume. So they did an update to like fix caves and scorched earth to properly dismount riders from their flyers. And if you got too close to an archway like this, or in certain areas in the Scar, you would actually just get kicked off your mount, and it was causing issues for a lot of people. I mean, if you read some of the Steam forums or the ARK forums or the Reddit forums, people were fairly angry at the amount of losses they were having, the amount of wyverns that were dying, and the amount of other dinos that were dying, trying to get those dinos that were lost back. And so unfortunately, I haven't read anything that Wildcard did to try to resolve it other than fixing the issue, but they didn't even add that into the patch notes that they did fix it. They kind of just fixed it. But luckily for me, even though I did myself get kicked off this very mount, I, as you can see there, have a lot of parachutes from learning very quickly that they are quite handy and very needed, especially on a PvP server. So definitely have parachutes. Parachutes are life. Parachutes are love. Especially when somebody picks you and you're now falling from the sky. So we just get out of here. I might be a tad bit heavy. So I'm going to try to drop an egg real quick. Okay, there we go. That should light me up a little bit. Luckily, poison did not hit me with anything. And I did not pull any lightnings, which is really good for me. Otherwise, I would have been in massive trouble right there. So that's another thing to watch out for. Your white. Definitely do not over encumber yourself. Otherwise, you will be in a bit of trouble like I was right there. So I am living very dangerously right now. That's okay. As you can see there though, this is a good example of the fire is like pretty ridiculously easy to avoid if you are moving and not standing still trying to drop an egg. And the poison, again, you really don't have to worry about that unless you fly into them or something like you're standing still. Lightning is really the main concern, and if I had pulled even one lightning right there, I probably would have died. So I got really lucky with the wyverns that were around after that epic fail right there I just did. Again, 200% movement speed, don't over encumber yourself, and have backups. Like I do have about 3 backups in case this one dies, but this one does have the best HP and stam, so if this one died it would have been a little bit of a loss. But it would not be my first wyvern that I've lost in the scar, so again I lost one to just sheer raptor rider type of play, and one of them I just it tried valiantly to live, but it was just too slow. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and eat some of these. I'm going to lose this. That lightning there is just a 110, but I'm going to hold on to it because I might raise that just for a plan that I have, just to see if it works out. But yeah, that is how to take wyvern eggs from the world scar, and how to almost die by picking up too many eggs. I might come back on a quetz. I do have a quetz on the server now to try to pick up that egg I bailed, but that should be high enough away from any nest that shouldn't be an issue at all, so I'm not really too concerned about leaving it there. That's why I immediately didn't just throw it down next to something in the scar. So thanks for watching, and good luck on your egg hunting, and I will see you in the next one.